What if I told you that the first real sign your body is aging isn't wrinkles, gray hair, or even slower reflexes, but something happening quietly in your legs right now? Most people don't realize it, but weakening leg muscles are often one of the earliest warning signals that the body is beginning to lose strength, balance, and circulation. And for adults over 60, that change can quietly increase the risk of falls, loss of mobility, and even long-term loss of independence. After decades of working with older adults, I've seen the same pattern again and again. The decline rarely starts with a dramatic health event. It begins subtly. Difficulty getting up from a chair, legs feeling tired after a short walk, or needing to hold on to the railing when going downstairs. But here's the encouraging part. In many cases, this decline can be slowed or even reversed with the right daily movements. Today, I'm going to show you 5 simple exercises that can strengthen your legs, improve circulation, and help protect your independence for years to come. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. The sit-o-stand exercise. Rebuilding the strength your legs are quietly losing. Many people over 60 don't notice their legs weakening until one small moment changes everything. It might be the first time you struggle to stand up from your favorite recliner, or the moment you push off the armrest of a chair and realize your legs didn't quite do the work on their own. These moments may seem minor, but in medicine they are often early signals that the large muscles in your thighs and hips are beginning to weaken, a process known as age-related muscle loss. One of the simplest and most effective ways to reverse that trend is something you already do every day: standing up from a chair. The sit-o-stand exercise may look ordinary, but it directly strengthens the quadriceps, glutes, and core muscles that support nearly every movement you rely on. Walking across the grocery store, climbing stairs in your home, or getting out of a car in a parking lot. When these muscles become stronger, balance improves, circulation increases, and the strain on your knees and lower back decreases. To begin, choose a sturdy chair, something stable like a dining chair, rather than a soft couch. Sit near the front edge of the seat with your feet flat on the floor and about shoulder width apart. Your knees should be bent at roughly a right angle, and your back should be upright rather than leaning heavily against the backrest. Before standing, lean your upper body slightly forward. This small forward shift helps activate the muscles in your thighs and hips. Now press your feet firmly into the floor and slowly stand up. Focus on using your legs rather than pulling yourself up with your arms. Once you are fully upright, pause for a moment and feel your weight balanced evenly through both feet. Then lower yourself back down slowly and with control until you are seated again. Avoid dropping into the chair. The lowering phase is just as important because it strengthens the muscles that stabilize your knees. For most older adults, starting with 8 repetitions is a safe place to begin. Perform 2 sets, resting briefly between them. If this feels challenging at first, it's perfectly fine to place your hands lightly on the armrests or your thighs for support. Over time, as your muscles wake up and become stronger, try completing the movement without using your hands at all. Practicing this exercise once or twice each day can gradually rebuild the muscle strength that protects your independence. Many of my older patients tell me something surprising after doing this consistently for a few weeks. Everyday life starts to feel easier. Standing up feels smoother, walking becomes more confident, and the legs feel more stable. But strength alone is only part of the story because the muscles lower down in your legs are responsible for something even more important: keeping blood circulating back to your heart. And what happens when those muscles weaken may surprise you. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. The calf pump, activating the second heart in your legs. There's a small group of muscles in your lower legs that most people rarely think about until circulation problems begin to show up. Maybe your ankles swell by the end of the day. Maybe your legs feel heavy after sitting too long. Some people even notice that their feet feel colder than they used to. These changes are surprisingly common after the age of 60. And one major reason is that the calf muscles are no longer being used enough to help circulate blood effectively. Doctors sometimes refer to the calf muscles as the body's second heart. And there's a good reason for that. Unlike arteries that receive help from the pumping action of the heart, the veins in your legs rely heavily on the contraction of your calf muscles to push blood back upward toward the chest. Every time you walk, climb stairs, or rise onto your toes, Those muscles squeeze the veins in your lower legs and help keep blood moving in the right direction. When those muscles weaken or stay inactive for long periods, such as during long hours of sitting, circulation slows down, and that's when swelling, fatigue, and discomfort can begin. A simple movement called the calf pump can reactivate this natural circulation system, and it's one of the safest exercises older adults can do at home. To perform the calf pump, stand behind a sturdy chair or kitchen counter where you can lightly place your hands for balance. Position your feet about hip width apart with your toes pointing forward. From there, slowly lift your heels off the floor so that your weight shifts onto the balls of your feet. You don't need to rush this movement. Rise up gently until you feel your calf muscles tighten. Hold that position for about 2 seconds. Then slowly lower your heels back down to key floor. The key to making this exercise effective is control. Avoid bouncing or dropping your heels quickly. Instead, move slowly and deliberately so the calf muscles fully engage. Each lift and lower should take about 3 to 4 seconds. This controlled motion strengthens the muscle fibers while also stimulating circulation. Most older adults can begin with 10 repetitions performed in 2 sets. If you feel comfortable after a few days, gradually increase to 15 repetitions. Many people find it helpful to practice this exercise in the morning while waiting for coffee to brew or while standing at the kitchen counter preparing a meal. Over time, this small movement can make a noticeable difference. The legs often feel lighter, circulation improves, and walking becomes more comfortable. But circulation in the lower body isn't only about standing exercises. In fact, one of the most powerful ways to stimulate blood flow can be done while sitting in your favorite chair. And the next exercise might be the easiest one you'll add to your daily routine. 3. The seated march, a simple movement that wakes up circulation. Sometimes the greatest damage to our leg strength doesn't come from aging itself. It comes from sitting too long without realizing it. Many older adults spend more time seated than they used to. Maybe it's watching the evening news, reading, driving to appointments, or relaxing after dinner. But here's something most people don't realize. When the legs stay still for long periods, blood flow slows down, the hip muscles become less active, and the nerves that help control balance start to lose their responsiveness. Over time, this can lead to stiff hips, tired legs, and a feeling that your lower body simply doesn't respond the way it once did. One of the simplest ways to counteract this problem is an exercise called the seated march. It may sound almost too easy to matter, but don't underestimate what this movement does for circulation and muscle activation. When performed correctly, it gently engages the hip flexors, thigh muscles, and lower abdominal muscles, areas that play an important role in walking and balance. To begin, sit upright in a firm chair. Avoid slouching back into the seat. Instead, sit toward the front edge of the chair with both feet flat on the floor and your knees bent at about 90 degrees. Your back should be straight but relaxed, and your hands can rest lightly on your thighs or the sides of the chair. Now, slowly lift one knee upward toward your chest. The movement doesn't have to be dramatic. Even raising the foot a few inches off the floor is enough to activate the muscles. Hold the knee in the lifted position for about 1 second, then gently lower it back down. Immediately repeat the movement with the opposite leg, lifting the other knee toward your chest. Continue alternating legs in a steady, controlled rhythm, similar to marching in place while seated. The goal is not speed, but consistency. Try lifting and lowering each leg slowly so the muscles stay engaged. If your breathing feels natural and your movements are controlled, you're doing it correctly. Most people can begin with 30 seconds of seated marching, rest briefly, and then repeat the exercise 2 more times. Over time, you may work up to 1 or 2 minutes of continuous movement. This exercise is particularly helpful for seniors who sit frequently during the day. It keeps blood moving through the legs, activates the muscles around the hips, and reminds the nervous system that the lower body is still meant to move. Many of my patients even practice this during television commercial breaks or while waiting for the kettle to boil. What surprises many older adults is how such a small movement can gradually make the legs feel more awake and responsive. But while circulation and mobility improve with exercises like this, there is another skill your legs depend on even more as the years go by. Your ability to maintain balance when your body shifts unexpectedly. And the next exercise trains that ability in a way that could one day prevent a very serious fall. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now, let's keep going with point number 4. 4. The heel-to-toe balance walk, training the stability that prevents falls. A surprising number of falls don't happen because the legs are weak. They happen because the body loses the ability to stabilize itself in small, unexpected moments. Think about stepping off a curb, walking across a slightly uneven driveway, or turning quickly in the kitchen. These situations require tiny stabilizing muscles in your feet, ankles, and hips to react instantly. As we age, those muscles and the nerves that coordinate them can become less responsive, which is why balance gradually becomes less reliable for many adults over 60. One of the most effective ways to retrain this system is a simple movement known as the heel-toe balance walk. Physical therapists often use this exercise because it strengthens the lower legs while teaching the body to maintain control when weight shifts from one foot to the other. To begin, find a hallway or a clear space in your home where you can walk safely. If possible, stand near a wall, countertop, or sturdy piece of furniture so you have something nearby for support if needed. Start by standing upright with your feet together and your shoulders relaxed. Now place one foot directly in front of the other so that the heel of your front foot gently touches the toes of your back foot. This is the same way people walk when performing a sobriety test, but here the purpose is to improve coordination and stability. Once your front foot is planted, slowly shift your weight forward and bring your back foot ahead. Again, placing the heel directly in front of the toes of the other foot. Move slowly and deliberately. The goal is not speed, it is control. Each step should feel steady and balanced. Keep your eyes looking forward rather than down at your feet because your body relies on visual cues to help maintain balance. Start by taking 10 slow steps in this heel-to-toe pattern. If you feel comfortable, turn around and repeat the walk back to your starting point. Most people benefit from practicing this exercise 2 or 3 times each day. Over time, you may notice that walking in everyday situations begins to feel more secure. Sidewalk cracks, curbs, and uneven ground become less intimidating because your stabilizing muscles are better prepared to react. Another important benefit of this exercise is ankle strength. Strong ankles are essential for preventing the small missteps that can lead to serious falls. When the ankles, calves, and hips work together, the body becomes far more resilient during sudden shifts in balance. Many older adults are surprised by how quickly this practice improves their confidence while walking. But balance and coordination are only part of keeping the legs strong. The large muscles in the thighs also need endurance to support the body during longer periods of standing and walking. And the final exercise we're about to explore quietly strengthens those muscles in a way that protects your knees and keeps your legs powerful for years to come. 5. The gentle wall squat. Rebuilding the leg strength that protects your knees and hips. There comes a point for many people in their 60s or 70s when standing for long periods begins to feel tiring in a way it never used to. Waiting in line at the grocery store, cooking dinner in the kitchen, or walking through a large parking lot can suddenly leave the legs feeling shaky or fatigued. What many older adults don't realize is that this feeling often isn't simply about age. It's usually a sign that the large muscles in the thighs and hips are no longer as strong as they once were. These muscles, particularly the quadriceps and glutes, are some of the largest and most important muscles in the body. They act like powerful stabilizers for the knees and hips. When they weaken, the joints begin to carry more stress than they were designed to handle. That's when people start to experience knee discomfort, stiffness when standing up, or a feeling that the legs tire quickly during everyday activities. One of the safest and most effective ways to rebuild this strength, especially for older adults, is a movement called the wall squat. Unlike traditional squats that can place pressure on the knees if done incorrectly, the wall squat provides support for the back and allows the leg muscles to work in a controlled and gentle way. To begin, find a clear section of wall in your home. Stand with your back flat against the wall and your feet positioned about 12 to 18 inches away from it. Your feet should be roughly shoulder width apart and pointed straight ahead. This position is important because it keeps the knees aligned with the toes and prevents unnecessary strain. From there, slowly slide your back down the wall. As you descend, your knees will begin to bend and your hips will move slightly forward. You do not need to lower yourself very far. Even a shallow bend in the knees, about a quarter squat, is enough to activate the muscles effectively. Once you reach a comfortable position where your thighs feel engaged but not strained, hold that position for 5 to 10 seconds. During the hold, focus on breathing naturally and keeping your weight evenly distributed through both feet. You should feel the muscles in your thighs working, but there should be no sharp pain in the knees. After the hold, gently push through your heels and slide your back up the wall until you return to a standing position. Most older adults benefit from starting with 5 repetitions. As your muscles gradually adapt and become stronger, you can increase to 8 or even 10 repetitions. Practicing this exercise 3 or 4 days per week can slowly rebuild the endurance in the thighs and hips that supports nearly every movement you make throughout the day. What surprises many people is that strengthening these large muscles doesn't just help with walking. It often reduces knee discomfort and improves overall stability. When the thighs and hips become stronger, the joints are better protected. Posture improves and everyday movements feel smoother and more controlled. And yet, here's something important to remember. Exercises alone are only one piece of the puzzle. The real transformation happens when movement, circulation, nutrition, and daily habits all begin working together to support your body as it ages. Because the way you care for your legs today can shape how strong and independent you remain over the next 5 or even 10 years. Strong legs today, a safer tomorrow. Why these small movements matter more than you think. Aging has a quiet way of changing the body. It rarely happens overnight. Instead, it unfolds slowly, one small shift at a time. A little less strength when getting out of a chair, a bit more stiffness after sitting too long, perhaps a moment of unsteadiness when walking across the living room late at night. These subtle changes are easy to dismiss, but for many adults over 60, they are early signals that the body's foundation, the legs, is beginning to lose strength and circulation. Your legs carry more responsibility than most people realize. They support your balance, help pump blood back towards your heart, stabilize your joints, and keep you moving through the routines of everyday life. When they weaken, the consequences extend far beyond walking. Reduced leg strength can increase the risk of falls, slow circulation in the lower body, and gradually limit independence. What makes this especially important for older adults is that many accidents don't happen during busy daytime activities. They often occur at quiet moments, getting up during the night, walking to the bathroom in low light, or rising from bed when the body is still stiff from sleep. In those moments, your legs are the first line of protection. Strong muscles and good balance can mean the difference between a steady step and a dangerous fall. The encouraging truth is that the body remains remarkably adaptable even later in life. The 5 simple exercises you've learned, standing from a chair, activating the calf muscles, marching while seated, practicing heel-toe balance, and strengthening the thighs with wall squats are not just movements. They are signals to your body that your muscles are still needed, still active, and still capable of supporting you. If practiced consistently, these small habits can create meaningful changes over time. Within a few months, many people notice improved stability and better circulation. Looking 1 to 5 years ahead, maintaining strong legs can help protect something far more valuable than muscle strength. It protects your independence. It helps ensure that daily activities like walking through a park, traveling with family, or simply moving confidently around your own home remain part of your life. Healthy aging is not about trying to turn the clock backward. It's about understanding how the body changes, making small adjustments, and giving your body the care it deserves. When you strengthen your legs, you are not only protecting your balance, you are protecting your future mobility, your confidence, and your ability to live life on your own terms. Because in the years ahead, the strength you build today may quietly become one of the greatest investments in your health. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.